in this segment, we're going to talk about voting and how we can improve in America. This is June 28th, 2023. We must move forward from an 1800 doctrine of a Super Tuesday to a Super Saturday, voting for all. Maybe pizza giveaways. In Australia, they give away hot dogs. We must stop the division of hate. One America. Compulsory voting, also called universal civic duty voting or mandatory voting, is a requirement that registered voters participate in an election. Australia has one of the highest electoral turnout rates in the world, 92% turnout compared to 55%. Mandatory voting seems to really say something about your civic responsibility and, as we call, patriotism from some of the folks that took the riot to the Capitol. It is argued compulsory voting ensures elected governments are viewed as legitimate, with nearly all electors having their say through voting. Whatever the outcome, the elected government is seen as the majority choice. Each vote is equal. Every vote is equal. Candidates and parties focus their policies on the minority of people who will vote. However, their policies still affect the whole population. A minority is deciding for the majority, and a lot of time and money and effort is spent by campaigners just to get people to enroll to vote. Compulsory voting is a great way to protect our United States democracy. More participation leads to more equitable representation. More participation leads to more engagement. More participation leads to more accountability. Although voting in a country may be compulsory, penalties for failing to vote are not always strictly enforced. In Australia and Brazil, providing a legitimate reason for not voting, such as illness, is accepted. For some Americans, we do have a lot of sick days. In Australia, if a citizen is asked why did they not vote and they reply that it is against their religion, the Electoral Act provides that this answer must be taken as conclusive and no further action is to be taken. The United States should require all of its citizens to vote. Doing so would push back against voter suppression. The 50% or lower turnout is unacceptable in our country. We are losing ground on real issues, improved infrastructure, and improved educational system that can be modernized. We are in a polarizing divide that is erupted in continuous hate, and a majority vote has been ruled out many times by the Electoral College, even in the case of Al Gore, in which many legal initiatives such as climate change and other reforms could have been implemented, even possibly preventing a 9/11. Voting matters. We should have the weekend to vote. We put more into Super Bowls and national championship games, weddings, 4th of July sales than our voting system. We are outdated. Voting on a Tuesday when many Americans cannot get out of work to vote or simply don't want to. The most sacred thing we have left in our nation that has such an impact on our overall safety and infrastructure. We are not advanced when nations like Australia does not have as many as one mass shooting because of the policies and compulsory voting. America leads the world in mass shootings. This clearly points to we are not as educated as we think. We need to improve and move forward in the 21st century to advance forward. We don't need elections decided by and divided Supreme Court. This is outdated. We need to move forward with Saturday elections and compulsory. We need to have more accountability in our nation. Otherwise, we will fall further back. We must take a dive into what matters. We must have some balance and not let emotional instability and false intelligence take us deeper. I vote compulsory voting to get the candidate with the intelligent vision, not from a district map that favors one candidate, but real issues that are common sense. Thank you for joining us on this segment of compulsory voting. We hope this moves us forward in the nation really soon. We can do this, America.